Hey Melissa, what were your top 4 films on Letterboxd?
Okay, well, Natalie, you know I don't really love ranking things. I hate it. But for you and for the people out there, I will give you a top 4 Letterboxd, but I'm gonna give you one that is specific to films and filmmakers that inspired the first feature I made, Mother of All Shows. The first film I would choose is The Wizard of Oz, my all-time favorite film. I watched it almost every day when I got home from school. I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with Judy Garland. You can see I still am. I was obsessed with the music. And I loved how they went from the sepia tones to the color. That's actually a practical effect that they used, which I'm obsessed with. And there always has to be a musical on my list, and The Wizard of Oz is the one I'm choosing today. The second film I'm choosing, and I also have the Laserdisc copy of it here for some reason, is Moonstruck. Although I have Moonstruck on Laserdisc, VHS, Blu-ray, and DVD, because I collect them. I love Moonstruck. I think it's a perfect film. I love the romantic comedy aspect of it. I love the performances.
I'm in love with you.
Snap out of it!
I love the script. It's John Patrick Shanley, who's a playwright that I also am a huge fan of, and I've been in some of his plays. And it's Norman Jewison, one of my favorite directors, who sadly just passed away recently. And he is a big inspiration to me, and he inspired my first feature, funnily enough, connected to Judy Garland, because he used to direct the Judy Garland show. And the film that we made involves variety shows and some techniques that Norman Jewison sort of pioneered. And so Moonstruck, amazing film, one of my faves. Thirdly, I always have a Nora Ephron on my list. Usually that's When Harry Met Sally, which is also a perfect film and an incredible rom-com. This time though, in relation to the feature I made, I would choose Heartburn. Heartburn is based on a book that she wrote, directed by Mike Nichols, starring Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson. And when it came out, it was very controversial. People were very hard on her about the fact that it was such a personal story about her marriage breaking up and some infidelity, and you know, that was Nora's style. She said everything is copy. That's what her mom used to say, and so she told her stories. And I really like Heartburn. I think it's a really fascinating story about a relationship, and I love that she was so brave to share her pain and her trauma and make it funny and engaging. So Heartburn. I can't believe I can only pick 4. But the fourth film is a Martin Scorsese. There's always a Martin Scorsese on the list. They rotate out for me because I like so many of them. Usually Goodfellas is my choice. I'm obsessed with Goodfellas. My sister and I used to quote Goodfellas growing up constantly. I love it. But in relation to the film I made, I would say that King of Comedy is my choice. I love the dark satire of that film. I think it is more and more relevant as time passes. I know his daughter Francesca would say that people slept on King of Comedy, and so would Martin Scorsese.
King of Comedy was slept on. People hated it when it came out. Pretty much. It wasn't like, no, it was the flop of the year. That's what it was called. Okay.
And I think that's probably true, but I think it's a fantastic film, and a lot of the dark elements and comedic elements, and Robert De Niro in that basement with the cutouts and his mother calling down, a lot of that really influenced what we wrote into the script for our film Mother of All Shows. So those are my Letterboxd 4 in relation to that, because if you ask me like next week, I'd give you a totally new, but don't ask me next week, please. Okay, thanks. Okay.